rounds heavyweights. Your referee once again is Jerry McKenzie. Introducing first in the red corner, to my right, wearing the black trunks with the gold trim, he weighs in at 282 pounds. His professional record, 8 victories, no defeats, and all 8 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Louisville, Kentucky. Here is Russell the Sandman Chasteen. Chasteen. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the All-American Stars and Stripe trunks. He weighs in at 323 pounds. His professional record, 43 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw, and 32 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Jasper, Alabama. Here is the king of the 4-rounders, Butterbean. Butterbean. 4 rounds heavyweights.
All right, gentlemen, you know what I expect.
Let's take a look at the rules as governed not by Butterbean, but by the state of Texas. 3 knockdown rule in effect, no standing 8 count. Fighter can be saved by the bell only in the final round. The referee or doctor can stop it. Accidental cuts, they'll go to the scorecards after 3 rounds are complete. Butterbean, the king of the 4-rounders, underway here against Russell Chasteen. And this is not a big ring, Teddy. Only 17 feet by 17 feet inside the rope, so no room to move away. This should be a little 4-round slugfest.
It should suit both of them. They can fight, you know, this is a telephone booth fight. And there's no warm-up rounds, obviously. You don't need me to tell you when it comes to Butterbean and his opponents.
Chasteen, 8-0 with 8 knockouts. All of his fights have come in Louisville.
And there's a soft commission in Louisville, so obviously the 8-0 with all knockouts does not mean what it would mean if you were fighting in tougher states like New York or Vegas.
Chasteen cautioned for pushing. Butterbean scheduled to fight Peter McNeely, he of the Pizza Hut fame, and of course the patsy for Mike Tyson when Tyson first came back. There is the knockout ratio. Butterbean at 33%. With 33 knockouts at 73%. Chasteen perfect, 8 for 8. So far, Chasteen has taken the fight to Butterbean.
Yes, he is. I mean, all 280 pounds of him. And he's a guy that, obviously, one of the prerequisites to being a Butterbean opponent is that you have to be a guy that they think can beat. And being off for 4.5 years, which Chasteen was, of course, would help Butterbean. The one thing about Butterbean, he doesn't pretend to be a great fighter. He's there to entertain.
By his own admission, he said when he first started fighting professionally after his tough man competitions, from a boxing standpoint, he said he had no clue. Feels that he's got a little bit of a clue now as far as skill. He said, but if the guy's going to come right at me, I'm going to give the fans what they paid to see, a slugfest. But so far, Chasteen has done a fairly decent job of using a jab and then following it off with the right hand.
He's in there trying. That's the main thing. If you try and you have a little bit of a chin with Butterbean, obviously it's going to be a competitive fight because the skill levels are not high. You just got to want to try. You have to be able to be a little bit durable.
Approaching the final half minute of this first round. Decent round 1 for Russell Chasteen against Butterbean. Chasteen has had the better of the action. Butterbean's gotten a few shots in as well. They exchange some right hands. Hopefully those ropes right above us are strong, because that's 600 pounds. Good uppercut by Butterbean.
It was set up by a nice body shot.
Pretty good round number 1 for Russell Chasteen against Butterbean. And the fans here at the Texas Motor Speedway loving it. Chasteen making a good account of himself in round number 1. Let's see if Butterbean can get on track. Chasteen landed 26 of 75 power shots in that first round. Take a look at some numbers from the first round, overall numbers, and you see that Chasteen threw 138 punches. That's pretty good. And he takes some Butterbean magic, and he says, bring on some more. Tell you have to give that first round to Chasteen.
I think so. I mean, he kept Butterbean on the ropes. He dictated control of the round, dictated pace, as they like to say. At the end, Butterbean made a nice run by landing some nice clean punches and nice setup punches, not just ugly punches from the street, but he threw to the body and brought the uppercut up.
You just tuned in. Talented prospect Juan Lopez of Dallas forced to quit in round number 1 against Juan Rodriguez. He dislocated or suffered an injury to his left shoulder trying to throw a hook that missed. So that bout was stopped in the first round. First loss for the young Lopez. There's a good shot by Butterbean. That gets the crowd into it.
You know, he set that up with a little trickery. He dipped his shoulder like he was going to go to the body and threw it up top. It doesn't take too much trickery to catch Chasteen because he stands straight up in front of you. You know, he kind of does like the old timers would say, Bob. He gets insulted if you miss him.
Glancing right hand from Chasteen.
I hate to say this, but, and I say it carefully, but I will say it. Butterbean's technically the more solid guy in this fight. He's a guy who's had much more experience, and he's a guy, even though, of course, he's a low level as far as top fighters go, but he's a guy that's, number one, got a lot of heart. Number two, he knows how to go to the body, knows how to put his punches together much better than Chasteen.
Yeah, we've talked about that over the years. He's gotten better as far as technique. Obviously, he's no Pernell Whitaker. But
no, in this matchup, though, with Chasteen, obviously he's a guy that has more technique, more knowledge, and it should serve him in the fight. He knows how to put a combination together. He knows how to go to the body and then bring an uppercut up. He even moved his head a little bit.
Counter shots by Butterbean, and it's been a pretty good second half of the round for Butterbean.
Yeah, Chasteen is just trying to smother Butterbean now and stay close to him when he's on the inside. But Butterbean's smart. On the inside, he's going to the body and then bringing it up. And that's giving him a nice edge in this round.
So a much better round 2 for Butterbean after Chasteen had the edge in the first round here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Chasteen threw 138 punches in that first round. That number dipped in round number 2. Good left hand by Butterbean after a shot of right to the body.
Again, better technique than Chasteen. I'm not trying to make him Michael Spinks anybody or Ali, but obviously, you know, like the old timers again would say, that old saying, the one-eyed man is the king when he's in the Valley of the Blind.
That's right. Butterbean with a good left to the body and then up to the head.
Butterbean is mixing his punches up nicely, going to the body and the head, giving him a nice edge over Chasteen. There again, a nice counter right hand underneath the slow left hand of Chasteen. Much better technique than Chasteen. Chasteen is just going to be on you, trying.
Teddy, I know this is, it's not blasphemy. Let's talk a little boxing technique right here. In round number 1, Chasteen doubled up with his jab. It's not a great jab or anything, but when he did, he was able to then shoot that right hand. He stopped doing that.
I think some of those body shots took away a little bit of his ambition. And that's to the credit of Butterbean, because obviously he made that choice to go there. Of course, the trainer for Butterbean in the corner with Butterbean was a real good fighter, Murray Sutherland. First ever super middleweight champion of the world when that division just started at 168 pounds. Also fought for the light heavyweight title against great fighters Saad Muhammad and Michael Spinks. So he's got a good trainer in the corner with him.
Butterbean giving the wink Teddy, and then he goes off the combination.
And he puts short punches together there.
Butterbean opening up here in the final minute of round 3. I think he's had enough of Russell Chasteen.
Chasteen right now is just trying to smother Butterbean. You'd like to see Butterbean obviously stay off the ropes, but let's not get carried away with ourselves. See what Butterbean did there? He blocked the right hand by putting his right glove. He didn't move his head, but he put his right glove over on the left side. Those are things taught to him by his trainer, Murray Sutherland, who I said fought for the light heavyweight title. Of course, also in the corner with him is Art Dorr. He runs the tough man contest where Butterbean got his start.
Good right hand by Butterbean.
And he's timing it over the slow jab of Chasteen. Again, I'm not getting carried away here, but this is a guy that obviously, if he was in there with better quality guys, he wouldn't be able to maybe do these things. But he's separating himself because he's smarter than this fellow in front of him.
And Butterbean digging down here near the end of round 3. Butterbean and Russell Chasteen in the 4th and final round. Butterbean over the last 2 rounds has taken control of this fight. Earlier, Juan Rodriguez, a first-round stoppage of undefeated Dallas prospect Juan Lopez. Lopez threw out his left shoulder with a left hook and could not continue. Punch numbers in round 3. And for Chasteen, he only landed 2 of 26 power shots. Butterbean 22 of 46 on the power side. There's a right hand that sends Chasteen wobbling. No knockdowns, and Chasteen answers with a right of his own.
Chasteen's laying on Butterbean. Butterbean was able to score with some uppercuts, which is the punch you want to score with if a guy's laying on you and his head's in the middle. And if you could, you'd want to put something on top.
Butterbean's a guy that loves the fans. When you hear the chant of Butterbean, the fans love him. He said, hey, I'm just an average guy building mobile homes a couple of years ago. Now I'm in the ring entertaining. And I don't make any false pretenses of what I do in the ring. I'm in the ring to entertain. And fans gravitate towards him. Butterbean's favorite fighter, though, is Johnny Tapia. Tonight in the main event, we'll see one of Johnny Tapia's arch rivals, Danny Romero.
Well, Tapia is an entertaining fighter, and obviously that's probably, besides being a successful fighter, probably part of the reason why Butterbean likes him. He likes guys that are a little animated, you would think. See, Butterbean, nice counter there. Made the punch miss, came right back, and he missed one. He followed with the left hook.
And he rips off a right cross inside.
And for Butterbean, those are short punches.
Good right hand by Butterbean. Fans would love nothing more than to see Butterbean get a knockout. Good left hook.
And Butterbean realizes that. He realizes that it's important not just to win, but to be entertaining. Because obviously he's not going to a world title level. He just wants to be entertaining. That is what sells Butterbean. Not the hope to be a heavyweight champ of the world, but to be entertaining and be the king of the 4-rounders. The 4-rounders that are the guys that the matchmaker think are right for him. Because let's face it, the most important guy in the entourage of Butterbean is not the cut man. You know, it's not the trainer even. It's the matchmaker. Get the right guys.
Well, Chasteen made a very good account of himself in round 1. In fact, he won that round. But since then, he's just gotten pummeled by Butterbean. But I'll tell you what, Chasteen can take a shot. A lot of credit hanging in there. His left eye is nearly closed. And there's the bell to end it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges at ringside, Ray Hawkins, Jimmy Cole, and Jack Woodruff, has scored the bout 39-37 to the winner by unanimous decision, Butterbean.